Hello everybody, should be my last video of the day. Almost into Barrie, traffic slowed down. You always get slowed down, but got rain. But I want to go into some massive, oh, the roads. I want to go into some massive important details here. Things every Canadian have to read. You have to get this. It's the Declaration of Decolonization, world binding law, presented by Russia. I do the voiceover for you so you can read it. It's being read to you. Listen intently. First Nations, Canadians, you gotta listen to this. This was Russia's answer to the UN Charter, for they did not, the UN Declaration of Human Rights 1948, Russia did not sign. They didn't veto it, they didn't sign. Just as the presentation, which passed by a majority by UN states, with a one no vote. No, none of the P5 voted no. It's there, but it's there that they can turn it away. Just like Russia can turn away from the Declaration of Human Rights, which basically gives all the P5 a free pass. Basically, that's the reality. Only the UN states, not permanent members of the Security Council, they're the only ones who can turn away. So we get into international law. It's really international law bound to the UN states themselves, not world leaders. This is an issue when you get into the Declaration of Human Rights 1948. So I poke the bear Russia. I poke, hey. And they answer to me, Dave, we did sign it, so to speak. Now, Ukraine never did. But Russia absolutely signed and administered the 1960 Declaration of Decolonization, where inside, if you watch and click on the link, Russia accepts 1948 Declaration of Human Rights 100% if France, UK, and USA sign and cement the Declaration of Decolonization 1960. It's still world binding, at least binding 100% on Canada. The politicians in Canada can't get away from what's coming down. The children's genocide, so much more than just that. They can't get away. It's a highlight that's going to free all Canadians. That atrocity alone has the power to free every Canadian citizen. World-binding law. Now the 5, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Does Russia still have the strength? Has China gravitated to enough strength to stand up and say yes? Has USA figured out that they need to move on and they have to go this route? They are not that animal, they never were. The things that happened in America as USA developed out of fighting 5 colonials, 5 of them. That North America region that is now the Union of the United States of America fought off 5 world colonial powers, which in this world today, the United States of America is the only country to survive the scourge of colonialism. That's reality. Now, were there great, terrible things alike that came from that? Sure. But USA dealt with it. They dealt with it and they continue to deal with it like no other, because it's we the people. Now there's other states who have a we the people. There's other states that don't put supremacy in any kind of mankind, but absolutely a divine creator, whichever you choose, but it can never be placed in the hands of any man or woman. Never. The Declaration of Decolonization 1960 not only promises the Declaration of 1948, but it says for all those who promise that to absolutely add all of the self-determination, sovereignty, independence of those victims of colonizers. which Canada is. Canada exists that way. Canada signed this, they're bound to it. ICC must follow, as Canada signed on to the ICC and are bound to them as well too. Now, your politicians can turn around and quit a whole number of things in the UN. Canada could do that. There's a lot of right radical groups out there and political would-be parties of power that say quit the UN so that their tyranny can only grow stronger, so they can be, in their minds, a Nazi Germany, because the foundation is absolutely there. Canada is built on the exact same colonial system as Nazi Germany. This is a fact. Facebook ain't taking this down. The US ain't stepping in. Russia, China, UK, France. The world's going to let this fly like all my other videos. You're not going to get untruth, because you look at the embedments and nobody can say it's not true. Nobody can say in any history, this guy's lying to you. No, this guy's telling you absolutely 100% the truth. Nazi Germany is argued by scholars all over the world from many countries. They say, oh, they were a radical left socialist. Oh, no. They were radical right nationalists. Look, and religion, and name a religion against another religion. But then again, they were ending religion. That's socialist. What is it? Radical left, radical right? The answer is simply, they were a colonial power system. Exactly like Canada exists today. A full autocracy. A party used that autocracy to take full advantage in a majority. That's what they did. And it's true, I guess I could be lying to you all and say, oh, the CCP, once we get into power, I'm going to laugh and say it was all a lie. I just wanted absolute control over Canada and be the ultimate autocrat. But that's not what I am. That's not the history I have in Canada. I proved that in Alberta politics. I've proved that I've been nothing but lawful in the world today, and absolutely always about the individual and the freedoms of the people. That's all I've ever been about, and that's all I will bring forward. I'm an average Joe, Jane, like everybody else. I have no delusions of grandeur. I really just wanted to live my life in peace. I was the guy who was happy to be married with a couple kids, the house, the garage, my little space, and raise my children. That's all I ever wanted in life. And just to know that my daughters, my son, will have at least the same quality or better life than I had, that I could make the difference for them. But that's not what's going to happen in Canada. I can't promise that to my children. So far in this system, it's in vain, which is absolutely 100% illegal in the world today. And that's the great hope of what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm praying, just as all of you are. I've done the work. I've crossed my T's, dotted my I's as best I could. I was rushed on the First Nations file. I have a promise to them. I said I would do it, and I am doing it. I just didn't want it in this manner. I wanted to do a trial run with freedom of religion. When you read Decolonization 1960, you're going to see that freedom of religion. But no religion, politics, education, or anything else, as you'll read in the Declaration that's world-binding law. None of that trumps the idea that in the name of any of that, you can take away anybody's culture or genocide them. You can't do that. And women, your rights are found in 1960. First Nation women's the mothers of Indigenous, and I know your culture, I know your governing system. Ladies, you only won the war on enfranchisement to get equal vote, not lose your status being married, because of one Russia and the General Assembly that voted in majority and the P5 who let it go through. Now you can't force that on USA. Linda Thomas Greenfield knows. She quickly responded just 3 days ago when I put this one out there in this narrative, and I'm not attacking the United States, but she said, look, since 2003, we've rectified all these things, and hey, great, good stuff, America, you're still growing, you've had your problems, you're making a lot of rights, you're righting a lot of wrongs, kudos to you. you get one of these. Republicans, Democrats alike have always been on that path for the most part. Socialist ideals I don't agree with, but it's not my country. I'm not going to talk about the Democrats and some of their leanings. We have enough problems right here in Canada. But ultimately, it's about up here versus down there, we the people. There is no we the people. There are no First Nations. Damn the Charter and all those who hold it on their backboards and say, oh yeah, for 900 years since Magna Carta, the peasants, the third class, into that second class have fought as the majority for those charter rights, and again, the divine power of the monarch overrules and rips it all away whenever they want. There's nothing you can all do about it. It's why Russia demanded decolonization in 1960, and they want it for all of you. Today, it's up to Canadian people and First Nations people to go with me to the ICC, and that means going to the P5 tomorrow first. The boss of all bosses of the ICC that can shut them down. It means us, the little people, showing Karim Khan, look Karim, we can't go with these narratives in laws or UK law or other horseshit law that offends the P5. Whether you like it or not, Karim, we're going this direction, and if you're gonna fight for Canada, you gotta go with the narrative that's gonna get success, that's gonna follow all legally world-binding laws and make that P5 happy, regardless of how First Nations feel, how Canadians feel at large. If you want real, true, absolute justice, you want financial repatriation, let's get it from the guilty parties. I can't take the church there. That's reality. Karen can't do anything against the church. They're not a UN state. They're in Vatican City. It's a whole nother animal. Some of the P5 won't rise against the Vatican. You can't offend the P5. I didn't make the world, First Nations Canadians, but I promise you, if we do the right narrative, we follow them to a T, and we don't step on any of their toes. We take each and every one of the five as they truly are, and we make sure to represent them as they are. As we go through this, we are going to get justice for each and every one of those children, all the families, the women, and then some. Canadians, First Nations, and then some. The women enfranchised, we can go back. All of it. Every time the government stole Canadians' rights and freedoms, took your money, made you buy it, and then rip it away from you, alter the courts, we can get justice for all of it. This is just the key that unlocks the door. That's what we're doing. We're opening a door to Canadians and First Nations. You're an oppressed people, so you just don't know any better. That's my job, to give you the truth, absolute truth. Again, Facebook's not going to tell you that this is a lie. There's no world expert to come along and say, he's a liar, he's a liar. Now, there's Canadian politicians, Canadian academics who are lying right now, going with the Crown narrative. You won't see them on Facebook. You won't see them dare place these fake narratives on Facebook in any major detail. They'll swim around it. Careful, very careful, to never trigger a Facebook gotcha. I'd like to get all of you. Trust me, if we do this right, it's all going to go well. It's all going to go well. Thank you. That's my video. I'm just about at my location. Share. Tremendously important. And better than that, it's 100% truthful, verifiable, and no one's coming to take it down. No one's going to put fake news on it. No one's going to persecute you for it, except for the groups and communities loyal to our crown colonial autocracy right in Canada. And yes, they can report. Yes, they can throw the video off the community. It doesn't mean you're being censored by Facebook. It means you're being censored by communities on Facebook with specific narratives that don't want to hear the truth. And that's their right not to hear the truth. You can't force it on people. Thank you. Have a great day.